Hello everyone, I'm Sophie and I'm sharing from the book that my guru has written. This is the book, Compassion Conquers All, Teachings on the 8 Verses of Mind Transformation by Sam Rinpoche. I'll be reading from page 105, verse 7, Giving and Taking. In brief, directly and indirectly, I offer aid and joy to all my mothers. May I secretly take upon myself all harms and sufferings of my mothers. What is that saying? When your beautiful, wonderful, kind, and very compassionate mother conceived you, and in general terms, it is out of great love. From the moment she found out that you were in her body, she loved you. The very thought of you being in her body created happiness. From the minute you created discomfort for her, although she was uncomfortable, she was happy. She protected you when you were in her womb. She bore the burden of a heavy being in her body for months upon months. She cared for you by not taking extremely cold food or hot foods. She cared for you by sitting down gently and rising gently, so that you, as a little unborn child in her body, would not feel physical discomfort. When it was time for you to be born, and before that, how much suffering you created for your mother in the sense of nausea, morning sickness, pains, discomfort. And then when you finally issue forth from your beautiful, kind, wonderful mother, how much pain did you cause her? How much stretching of her body did you cause? How much blood did she lose? How much sweat? How much screaming? How many hours of intense pain? And even with that pain, she was still happy. Some children even cause the death to their mothers. And yet, when the mother is dying, she wants to make sure that her child is all right and well, even with the last dying breath. And the minute the child, that being that has caused so much pain and discomfort for months upon months upon months upon months, is issued forth, instead of slapping and kicking and beating and abusing that little evil thing that causes so much trouble and pain, she grabs the child and hugs that child in her fatigue to her breast and loves the child. How kind is the mother? And then the mother, from the moment you issue forth, voluntarily surrenders her freedom. She has no freedom to sleep, no freedom to eat, no freedom to beautify herself or to go out. She is at the mercy of every whim, noise, and fuss of that little child. That little child has become the center of her world, and all her energies are focused on that child. From being awake at night for the child, she gets lines under her eyes. She loses her figure. She suffers incredible pain, and she can even become unhealthy because of that child. She completely loses her freedom. She will work, fight, and sacrifice her time, energy, and effort for that child. She will even give up her life for that child, if necessary, without a blink of an eye. And when the child is sick, she is worried to no end. When the child is happy, she is happier than the child itself. When the child grows up, when the child is successful, when the child is doing well, the mother sincerely, wholeheartedly rejoices for the child. And when the child falls down, and when the child is not successful, the mother suffers because of love and deep compassion for that child. How kind is that mother? The very flesh on us that we use to do Dharma practice, the very flesh that we have comes from our mother. The very bones and flesh that we have come from our mother. In that respect, women are much greater than men. Incredible. Their bodies are more frail, smaller, more delicate, yet they can produce a greater result. And in Tantra, we should respect women and see women as the equal of men, if not better. That is why we have Buddhas like Tara and Vrajayogini and Palden Lamo. It shows you there is no state of difference between a male and a female. And the kindness of a mother is, in normal cases, is such that you cannot repay it back. And yet, perhaps because of lack of time and energy due to all her preoccupations with you, your mother does not have Dharma or is not able to practice the Dharma and is ignorant and suffers. She will have to die and take rebirth, and maybe even take rebirth in hell. This kind of mother who has done so much for you might have to take rebirth in hell or one of the lower realms. Yes, she may have done things that hurt you. Maybe she has said things that hurt you. Maybe she doesn't understand you. Maybe she doesn't have a wonderful relationship with her. Maybe you don't have a wonderful relationship with her. But that doesn't deny the fact that everything you have comes from her. Whatever we do, we can never repay the kindness of a mother, ever. We can give her $50 million, but we can still not repay the kindness of that mother to us. All the intensity of her love and her patience and her energy towards us, we can never repay it. So if she says unkind things to us because of her own delusions from previous lives, we should forgive her. We should, in fact, see it as pleasure and beautiful. We should serve her. We should take care of her. We should watch her in her old age. We should be at her beck and call, and we should treat her as we treat our own guru. Every moment that we have with our mother is a very precious moment, and we should not let it slip by. But if due to our bad karma our mother passed away, we should never forget her kindness and practice the Dharma for them and dedicate it to them. Such a kind being that has been so wonderful to us and suffered so much pain and difficulty for you. Can we be so ungrateful not to repay her kindness and not to treat her like a queen? Like that, in your previous lives, you have a mother, and the life before you had a mother. And in some situations, with respect to the mothers in this life, some mothers from previous lives maybe even have sacrificed their lives, gave more than your mother in this life. We just cannot remember at this time. So in every single life, thousands upon thousands and millions of lifetimes, we had a mother who treated us like the mother of this life. Therefore, in Mahayana Buddhism, we say all mothers sentient beings, or all mothers. It doesn't mean that these 4 monks sitting there are my mothers. It doesn't mean that everybody is my mother. It means that at one time or another, every single sentient being has been your mother, that has treated you in such a way, and don't you think you should repay that kindness back? Whether it was done in this life or previous life, it was done to you. You got that benefit. That's why you are here today. Don't you think you should repay her kindness? Therefore, in Mahayana Buddhism, the first step to develop bodhicitta is the recognition that all sentient beings have been your mothers on that logical basis. And therefore, all mother beings, some of them are in hell, some of them are in the spirit world realm, some of them are animals, some of them are in desperate human situations, some are around Some are all around you, some in the God realms, taking rebirth and suffering again and again in samsara. How can you, an ungrateful child, let your mother suffer? Recognize that it is the first step towards achieving bodhicitta. In short, may I do whatever I can to directly and indirectly help my mother. May I offer all the benefit to them and take their sufferings openly and secretly, endure sufferings for my mothers who have been so kind to me. May I secretly take upon all mother sentient beings suffering and pain. We should pray for that quality. We should want that quality, yearn for it, make offerings for it, meditate for it. We should recite mantras and do retreats for it. We should go to our gurus for it and receive teachings for it. We should make donations and do whatever beautiful charity works that everybody has been doing for that purpose and that purpose alone, to repay the kindness of mother sentient beings. How to repay them? Not simply to give food, clothing, shelter, and medicine, but to give them the complete method to be free from samsara. The only way you can do that is by becoming an enlightened being for their sake. For the sake of all mother beings, I will listen to the Dhamma, so that I will learn the methods and I can practice, and I can become an enlightened being to repay their kindness. For the sake of all mother beings, I will make offerings. For the sake of all mother beings, I will support the beautiful Dharma centers. And from the merit I receive, may I become a Buddha to benefit my mothers. I will practice patience for my mothers. I will meditate and do mantras for my mothers. When your motivation is that you will do Dharma practice, help Dharma centers, assist others, and so on, so that you can repay the kindness of others, you will not be disappointed easily when you meet harsh people. You will not be disappointed easily if you do not get the results quickly. You will not be disappointed easily if everything goes wrong. You will be able to endure it. We can endure a lot of pain and problems for our mothers today, remembering their kindness. So what is the difference between our mother of this life and previous lives? And there is a very strong chance that the beings around you will be your mothers again. Like H2O molecules, water molecules, evaporations, cumulus clouds, hail, snow, rain, and the collection of a water body and again evaporation. It is the same H2O molecule in that cycle. There is not one new H2O molecule in this world. Like that, there is not one new sentient being in this world. They are the same ones that you will be meeting again and again and again. So doesn't it behoove us to remember the kindness of the past and of the present and the kindness that they will display in the future? So every action we do, the motive should be for all mother sentient beings. And when you do that, you are practicing the Dharma and you are on the way to Buddhahood. Every single Buddha acts out of that compassion, out of that thought, spontaneously, effortlessly, constantly, because they have unconditioned and trained. They have conditioned and trained. So we should wake up in the morning and think, how can I benefit mother sentient beings? Before we go to sleep, we should think, how have I benefited them? And every day to put into our heart, I will do something for the sake of other sentient beings. I will be able to endure for them, for others. You will see your mental strength grow. You will see your perseverance grow. You will see your enthusiasm grow. You will see yourself become stable and steady. And that's what we want. So the motive for anything we do in Dhamma should not be the 8 worldly concerns. Yes, it's that crazy monk talking about the 8 worldly concerns again. We should work and do actions, not for the center, not for our gurus, not for friends, not for reputations, not for karma, not for ourselves. We should do it for the sake of sentient beings. I will help the Dharma centers for the sake of all sentient beings. I will listen to the Dharma for the sake of all sentient beings. I will practice Dharma for the sake of all sentient beings. I will meditate, do mantras, do retreats, go to holy places. I will work and draw pain. I will put up and show patience to people who hurt me and damage me, and situations that bothered me for the sake of all mother sentient beings. Why? In short, because you wish to become a Buddha to repay their kindness, to give them the ultimate way to come out of suffering. The only way is to develop those qualities, and the only way to develop these qualities is to come across the situation that help you develop those qualities. So are not sentient beings precious? The Buddha said, you should respect sentient beings 50% and respect Buddhas 50%. The respect you accord the sentient beings and to the Buddha is equal. Because without the Buddhas, you cannot become enlightened. And without sentient beings, you cannot become enlightened. So if you have a Buddha teaching you compassion and you don't have anywhere to practice it, you cannot become enlightened. 50-50. It says clearly, you are 50% dependent on the Buddhas for enlightenment, for their teachings, for their inspirations, for their blessings, and so on, as the merit field. And you are 50% dependent on other sentient beings, especially the ones you revile, that you do not like. If, for the sake of all mother sentient beings, we do our sadhana or any Dharma action, we will not become disappointed easily. We will not become upset easily. We will not give up easily. We will, in fact, practice harder and harder and more. And therefore, in time, we are able to endure more. Mentally, we become stronger and better and more beneficial. That will be the result of this practice. When you practice Dharma and then experience negative things, it's a very good sign. It means your karma is being purified quickly. You have to purify karma sooner or later. It's better to purify now and get it over with. If you have to purify later, the karma will increase. For example, if you have the karma to wear a coat and you wear it in Alaska or where it is very cold, it is very beneficial. If you wear a coat and walk around at 1 p.m. in the afternoon in Malaysia, the karma is still to get a coat. Wearing it is the same. Karma is the same. The coat is the same, but the environment is different. So if you have a lot of negative karma and you suffer the karma here, because the environment is easier, the sufferings will be less, although the karma is the same. Whereas if you keep the karma, you hold it for later, and it manifests in another environment, it will be more severe. With that, I will end the session here. I have not finished chapter 7, verse 7. I will continue on in my next session. And thank you very much for sharing your time with me. I would end it with a completion dedication in Tibetan. Jangjuk Senchung Rinpoche, Make Panam Geyushi, Gepanam Pame Payang, Goni Gondo Pewasho, Tony Joa Rinpoche, Make Panam Geyushi, Gepanam Pame Payang, Goni Gondo Pewasho, Daso Jini Sapagi Wadi, Tana Droa Gonagapata, Jepa Jesu Losan Trapai, Tamping Impori to Sa Sesho, Kewa Kuntu Yandala Mada, Dramishoki Palalo Joching, Sadam Langi Yaterazon, Doji Changi Opangatuso, Gewa Di Yududa, Lamasa Gedriuni, Drewa Chikia Malupa, De Sala Gopashu, Joki Kapusungapa, Chosuna pe wala ke ke sama siwada tungki malu sawasho dalam sange de senda drewa sange latini ge wan santrapai tapa yuriva gyushi ni modele sendele ni migunya dale shi ni sendatu dele pel kunju sungi yingi lo kunju sungi ngodros kunju sungi trasi sho jesu nama kusen rapti chi nunga trini cho ke pada lo som tempe drum ni sop sungi dro e musa datu ni gyushi gawe rawe kowe shingamde benda deo malu go ni jerense watesing so shape shi de vadu de gyushi Home don't being auto malopa, then the dollar sounds got a nepa long nam, give us so she should turn sell. Thank you.